you who demand more.
Yeah, please excuse Darren, folks. He's left his talent in the fridge.
Are we
Get you away
live?
to hell. What are you blaming me for now? I'm not even there.
Are we live?
I think we're
Oh,
live.
hello,
Yeah.
everybody.
Okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
you join us in the middle of a debate as to whose fault it is. There you go. Apparently it's my fault.
Hi, everybody. Yes, it's that day again. It is Friday, bitch.
Friday!
Yay!
Yes, it's science time.
Science.
I'm very excited.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm not even sure how long it's going to take. It probably won't even take that long, to be fair.
Are you
That's
True
all
Blue?
right, darling. It's content. I know it's that C word, but it's content. So how are you, my girls?
I'm
How's your...
good. This week's been long.
How's it?
I've worked a lot of hours this week.
Mm,
Today was my only day off, so.
I don't
No,
know.
Chris has got us on the big 50-inch screen. Holy shit! Trust me, you don't want to see this in HD. No, turn that off.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Oh.
No. So how's your week been, Bunny?
Yeah, very good. Can't complain. Well, I could, but you know, it's all Darren's fault. So.
It's all Dan's fault. But it's always all Dan's fault anyway, so everything's Dan's fault.
Yep. Well, I'm only getting my own back because he usually blames me for everything fucking else. So you know, it's only fair that I dish some of it his way.
I know. So how is everybody in chat? I hope you've all had a good week.
Chris, tits in 4K, it's the future.
Tits in 4K.
It's great.
I'm covering the tits tonight.
This hair thing's really bugging me because it's not actually blue
It's
the way
not.
you see it.
Isn't it awesome though?
It's the lighting in here. So this, if you can see the actual colours, that's just going to turn it blue as well. Fuck's sake.
Give it
Yeah.
turn it blue.
It's not. It's light blue fading to purple.
Put that picture up on the bitches group,
Okay.
No.
and then people will be able to see what actual colour it is.
Okay. I look like a tit, but yeah, sure.
I think it's lovely.
Thanks.
Great.
It's going to be one of those nights, isn't it?
It's going to be one of those things. Yeah. I'll warn you all now, I'm a bit grumpy. I've had 4 days of no nicotine this week, and it's only just starting to build up my system again, so...
Yeah, where's
Bunny,
There we go.
Bunny, just keep me right.
Oh, don't worry. No.
So I hope you've all had a good week. What's everybody vaping on? Let's have a wee start with that. I'm going to go first this week for a change.
Yes.
Do it.
Okay, so I'm on my Crown 4 kit and with the mesh coils, which is awesome. And I'm on this juice that Chris gave me, which I am absolutely blown away by. Squeeze Me, as in squeeze M-I, me, it's called.
Baking powder?
Yes, Squeeze Me, it's called. It's very cool. And the funniest thing about it is it's a honeydew melon and an apple, a green apple.
Ooh.
And I don't like melon or apple vapes, but I'm fucking loving this. So go figure. So yes, I went 4 days this week with no nicotine. I was doing an experiment. And my husband came and said to me, please, for the love of us and the children, have some nicotine yesterday. So I took some nicotine yesterday. So it's gradually building back up my system. So this is awesome. Absolutely awesome, Chris. Loving this. And I'm also on the original The Capo with the recurve from my lovely Sainty. And in this, I have another juice that Chris gave me, which is amazing, which is Victasia Killer Custard Lemon.
That is lovely.
It is, and I've absolutely canned it. There's that left.
Plain yeah, gone.
Yeah, so I'm really, really enjoying that. So that and my usual medicine is what I'm on. So yes.
Sweet. Well, I don't have quite as much as that. I've only got the two tonight. I have the Rev Night Roll with the Mesh Pro and the where is it? Yeah, that one. Double drip, super berry sherbet.
Ooh,
Oof.
super
And
sweet.
it is. Actually, surprisingly, no. It's not as sweet as the name would suggest. It's.
I always
really
find the
nice.
double
It's-
dip just is very sweet.
It's more of a subtle one.
It
By
is.
them, it's lovely. I love
It's
super
one
berry
of their-
sherbet.
It's one of their newer flavors. Like the lemon sherbet and the raspberry sherbet that they do are very, very sweet. They definitely kill your coils.
Yeah.
This one here is actually not too bad. So it's
There
not.
was a double drip
It's
one
just
that
a nice level of sweet. It's not. Some of them will be a bit sickening and a bit harsh, to be honest. But that one there is actually really, really good. That's.
very nice. Tetley man sent me a double drip lemon one that he couldn't vape. It was too sweet for him. And he sent it to me, and even I really enjoyed it, but I have never bought it again. Do you know what I mean? It was nice what he'd sent, but
Yeah.
I even struggled with how sweet it was.
I
Yeah.
always get vapor stung really, really fast from double drip. Like
Actually,
their raspberry sherbet was amazing,
Yeah.
but I literally went through one 10 ml bottle and I couldn't taste it.
Oh God, no!
Yeah.
I quite like the I quite like a sherbet vape anyway, and the double drip ones for me have been the best ones that I've found so far. So I really like those. But that one, for it being a sherbet, is actually quite subtle, and it's not overpowered with any one flavor. You know, you are getting a nice balance of different flavors, and then you get the sherbet kick, which is nice, but it's not that kind of kick that would make you throw up sort of thing. But yeah. But
Yeah,
I've got
you
that on the
need
go
to
there,
try
and
Moorish puff raspberry sherbet if you like sherbet.
I do.
It's good.
I'll have to definitely.
It's really good.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to investigate that. And then I've also got the top side with the dead rabbit combo, and in that I have the dark berry cider.
you're enjoying that, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I got a massive, great big bottle of it for a birthday present.
Oh God, you've
Um,
tagged that, Mrs.
Yeah, I've been keen on that for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Mm.
nice though.
Very, very nice. So it is. So yeah, that's what I'm on. And of course, I've got my pink grapefruit elements Nick salts there as well. So it's pretty much all I'm on this evening.
Nice. What you on, darling?
The usual. As made as low. Hakuna Nick salts.
Oh, look at that beautiful crown kit, and it's purple too.
And in here I have got, right, I'm just going to cover pretty much everything that is promoting this company because they've been absolute dicks to me and Chris with sponsors. So I'm on a raspberry grenade
Okay.
by an unknown company.
Okay.
By them that shall remain fucking nameless because
Yeah.
they're twats.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Hey, Hersey.
that's it. Like, it's just been a standard day for me.
Chris needs bottles that big. It's 3 days worth for him. I'm going through a right custard thing just now, right? So I'm loving all the I've never really been a custard vapor. I was always a dessert vape. You know what I mean?
Shite squad, says Chris.
Shite squad.
Shite squad.
But I'm going through a right custard thing at the moment. So, but I've got to say, and I'm not just sucking up his ass, but I've got to say so far, Chris's original custard is still the best that I've tried. I like the salted caramel.
Salted caramel for the win.
I like it. Do you know that way? But it's not one that I could vape all the time. It would be a wee change now and again.
Yeah.
But apparently, the salted caramel that I came home with is now my husband's. He's whipped that because he's loving it. He's vaping that.
Aye, Andy.
So, hi everybody. Hope you're well. Sorry, I'm totally cat here. I'm quite sure everybody's put in what they're vaping on. Let's have a wee look and see. Gary, recurve squonk, piece of shit, single coil RDA that I'm fucked if I can remember the name of. With tropical cola juice from God knows as I can't make out the name of it. Okay, that's good to know, Gary. We're all enlightened.
Yeah, exceptionally.
I know.
Saintie's on the double barrel with Elder Dragon and Candy Ice, and the Me Class pod with Nick Salt Strawberry.
Shh, don't mention that in front of Jules.
the ice.
Sloan Ranger, Berserker on the Aspire NX100, Peerless on the Dovepot MBV, Arc 44 on the Purge Box, and the Norris on the Mage Stack with 4 types of Just Jam. Nice.
Chris has just said, promote our stuff how when you don't send anything to us and then ask where the review is.
Yeah.
I think we might have pushed a button there, He's having a wee rant.
Oh no, yeah, both of us aren't very, very happy with a certain company at the moment.
Yeah, Chris's killer custard is to die for, Jules. You're right. So yes. Hi Andy, how you doing, darling? Hope you're well. Smurf is on the top side, the profile with EVC salted caramel. Yep, nice setup there, Smurf. Victor, hello my darling. So glad to see you got some nice new drip tips with not a bit of pishy plastic in sight. I was very proud of you. Kodama Minikin in Lustro with Bombas RTAs, Times Vape Dreamer in Arden and the Vicious Ann and the Nudge 22. See, I still love my wee Nudge 22. It's a great wee, for a squonker, it's a great wee single coiler. So, True Blue, rocking the T-Class, go with Doozy, Very Licious. And my old faithful Smoke Alien Aspire Nautilus 2 with Dinner Lady Lemon Tart Nick Salts. Nice. Very nice.
Hi, Vic.
I thought Chris was coming in then I had the door go.
Fuck shit Industries and their double barrel and TAC 21 ornaments. Have you had problems with yours as well, Bill? There's quite a lot of people that I've seen that have had problems with the double barrel.
I know Chris broke his when he dropped it.
Okay. Yeah, dropping it's not usually tantamount to a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's the way it landed, because it landed right on the bottom.
Ouch.
So.
Hey, Pasty.
Hey, Pasty, hope you're well, darling. So, like, what else have we got here? We have Andy Summerfield as the Rave Mini Squonker, Wicked RDA with jam and strawberry jam. Like, I'm not a lover of the jam vapes, I've got to say. Jules is on the Crown Kit with Nasty Juice, our normal top.
Why do you not stop rubbing it in about that flipping Crown Kit? I don't have one, okay.
that would be that one. Jules is green though.
I know,
the normal top side, which I'm assuming she means the single top side, the bunker, and a different Nasty Juice, and the dual top side with Mjolnir and fizzy pineapple juice. Nice.
Village is on the Fatality on the red G-Class, Mjolnir on the Hex V2, Mjolnir on the top side dual, Juggernaut Mini on the Minikin V2 Kodama, the FP on the Black Carbon G-Class, Goon on the Q Mini, and the Haku on the Pumper. And
wow.
Brave.
That's some setups you've got there, Village. Nice. Nice. Yeah, he's having a light night tonight, Irishy. I know. So, has it been a good week for y'all? There's not been an awful lot happening in the vaping world, has there, this week?
No.
No, not really.
I've put a couple of news articles up, but there's not been an awful lot of like new releases and things like that. So,
Yeah, I suppose everybody's still on the holidays, aren't they?
That's true. It's still Chinese.
They're not officially back to work till like Tuesday or something. So.
Yeah, Chris has started to get a few emails in, but yeah, it's not officially Chinese New Year over yet. So. The chips lasted less time than a smoke mod, and the wiring looks like it was done by a blind man. On top of that, their customer service they're a bunch of chimps. Okay, I take it you're talking about Squid Industries there. Village is fine.
Bill and Squid Industries, I think, have a mutual love-hate relationship kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh no. I hope you're alright, darling. It's been a bad week for him.
Oh shit.
A bad week health-wise. I hope you're okay. Vaping with TC, I've got one set up Aspire AIO with Dr. Frost, Orange Mango, Ice, Nick Salts, Vaporesso Lux with the FP on top, and EVC Salted Caramel. I hope you are all using your bitches of Eastwick code with Empire to get your caramel and get your money off. Thank you.
I heard that.
Vic is throwing the Omzium too at Village. I'm guessing you don't like that mod, Vic.
You can throw it at me, I fucking love it. I think it's gorgeous.
No, fuck that. I want that V2 Kodama.
No, you get no chance. I really like the Omzium. I don't know why people don't like it. I think it looks really ergonomic.
Don't give a shit about any of that. I just want my looks.
to be honest, it's not the shape of it I have a problem with. It's that really garish, great
The
big
red
fuck
button?
off red button.
I know, I
And
think that's
that
pretty.
just ruins the look of it.
I see, I don't get it. Gary and I are in the same camp. Gary, I got there first. Shut up. No, but do you know what? Gary and I were talking about it. We really like it. I like that red button. I think it's different. Do you know what I mean? It's not a standard box mod. It's different, which I think is why I like it.
Exactly, Vic. Launch the nukes, press his red button. That's just what that reminds me of. I could just see Donald Trump sitting with that going, right, Korea, bring it.
Right, Gary, some people have no taste, I know. Exactly.
Sorry, I'll have you know I have exceptional taste, okay?
Slange just said the Omsium looks too much like a colon. The button is the male G-spot. What?
Okay, right, that had...
You're starting to worry me, sweetheart.
See that lassie's brain? I don't know where she goes sometimes.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does not look like a fucking big zit, Dawn.
It does, Dawn. I
Lovely.
agree with you, darling. It
does.
It's that fucking stupid bum. The mod itself, I like. I like the fact that it is a weird shape because I like sort of quirky things, but that's just me. But that big red button, that is just too much.
Oh wow, Chris, that's not good.
It just makes it really look cheap.
Gary doesn't like rainbow. You need to fucking leave him alone with that. Well, I did like the Omsium. See, I like the Omsium. No, that's all right. You can be in me and Gary's club of liking the Omsium. I think it's very pretty.
I think you guys are living up to your Mad Squad name.
It's not for me.
No, it's not for me either. Like I say, if Vic was to, feel really generous and throw that V2 Kodama my way, I would be eternally grateful. But
You're on to plums, and you know it.
Yeah, I know.
That's shit. So, that'll have suspended everything. That'll be fucking a nightmare. Is that going to take you weeks to get that sorted, or are you on to the bank to get it sorted now?
It shouldn't take that long.
Hope not. Gary, don't tell her that. Shh. It's Starwood, so it gets your vote. See? Another one that likes it. Really, Bill? See, I've got a pumper, but mine's is the 18.
See, I like the pumper as well.
I love my wee pumper with my wee nudge on it. It's a great wee setup.
Hey, Manic.
I just
Yeah, no, I do. I quite like the pumper.
Yeah, well, see the Omsium. It's a Marmite one. Hold on, I'll move my chat. What? Did I read that right? This mod is engorged clip mod. Okay. There you talk.
See, Sloane's in agreement with Darren on that one.
I don't get it. I just think it's different. I like it.
Nah.
Yeah, the pumpers are. They're great wee skonkers. I love my pumper.
Yeah, I have to admit, I quite like the pumper as well. Daft name and all as it is, like it's just the butt of everybody's jokes. It has been for nearly a year now, but it's still, I think it's.
I was delighted with my wee bargain I got at Expo, mind.
Yeah.
And eat my BB, he came running up behind me and I got money off of his as well.
You were doing fucking brilliant last year. You were getting everybody bargains.
That's just because I'm a cheeky bitch. Just telling them what I was prepared to pay and that was it. I even got Vic money off of his.
It's way to be.
Well,
the worst I can say is no.
Exactly.
Well, when you think about it, at Expo, they'd have been making a profit on it no matter what they would have sold it for, to be honest.
Exactly.
So,
I was in sales for too long. I know exactly what the markup are in a lot of these things. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, you don't get if you don't ask, do you?
Exactly.
And when you cuddle them, when you give them a big cuddle to death, they really don't fucking argue with you.
No.
It was dead funny. I do not bully the vendors into submission, Andy. I do not.
I just laughing at Vape and Irish's comment there as well. He says he liked the Omtium when he first saw it in 2001, A Space Oddity.
That must have been the last time Mark smiled then, Neil. I didn't. What do you mean?
Eh?
Hmm?
What, when I gave him a cuddle?
Eat my baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you got him a discount on his mod.
He just, I mean, you know how quiet Mark is, and he just kind of he was standing there watching me, and his mouth was like, and then he followed me, and I was like, do you want, you getting one? I'll get money off for you too, right? He's having the same, but he's paying the same price as me. And she was like, okay.
Yeah, the worst I can say is no, so why not?
You did the same with the iJoy Avenger mods as well.
Aye, for Roy and Jules.
Aye.
Well, you don't get it if you don't ask, do you?
Exactly.
True.
Gary, you have no taste from Victor. I know.
Yeah, pot and kettle.
So has anybody got anything nice new vape mail this week? Got their eye on anything?
Nope, I'm just sad that I still have no Lux to use.
Well, you do now. It's on its way.
I do now.
My lovely little cherub.
Yeah, thank you, Vic, for offering to send me it, because I'm desperate at this point.
Victor, how's your scrotum tonight?
There's nothing wrong with the blue alien monstrosity, you. Shut up.
It's actually grown on me, I've got to say.
I love that mod.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what anybody says. I love that mod.
I don't love it. I hated it until he had that fucking monstrosity of pishy plastic arrive and tormented the living shit out of me with it. So because that was so bad, the ET alien grew on me.
Yeah.
TC's waiting on the offer.
Yeah, I'm sure there's bound to be a cream for it or something.
Chris, who are you going to assassinate now? Chris has just said, if you don't hear from me, I'm about to assassinate someone.
Okay, if you need help, I'm here.
Slightly concerned who he's planning on assassinating.
2 children,
Robin. Yeah, Chris, if you need any bother sorting them out, give me and Darren a shout. We bring the boys over.
What did I say, Gary? Why is Gary what the fucking at me?
Eh?
10 bottles of lemon lush this week. Oh, Village, you jammy git.
Oh, UK Andy got his wins through from the auction. Nice one, Andy.
Good.
Thanks.
Hey, Jay. Jay just comes in with squirrel.
Oh, okay, fair enough, babe.
Well, I think what happened to Chris in the shop this week was fucking horrific.
Do you know what I find? Do you know what I find even more horrific? Is how the police handle it.
Yeah, exactly. A crime is a crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I do need more Nick. You're absolutely right, Gary. I mean, it tells you something when your husband says, please, for my health and the children's safety, vape some nicotine. I was like, okay. I have been a bit of a crab at bitch, I've got to say. I didn't think that I thought I was doing alright. I thought I was coping quite well. Apparently I wasn't.
That whole juice is nasty. Whoever came up with that mix wants shooting in public at Expo.
Andy, that was the guys that came up with the head candy electric sweets. It was them come up with that juice because that juice is designed to do the same thing.
Fucking vote.
No, I'm still traumatised from that fucking sweetie.
Oh,
No.
and
you need to try vote. Oh my god.
Yeah.
No. She gave me one of the sweeties at the Rude Boy opening, and I swear, oh, no.
Like you don't even have to vape it, just taste it, because it's.
Has it got that horrible aftertaste, the same as the sweeties? Your tongue goes numb.
Mhm.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, you need to try it. You need to try it. Oh yeah, the police may well have uniforms from Smithies. They were like they're going to a fancy dress party. They would be more useful at one.
Yeah, by the sounds of what's gone on with you, Chris, this week, yeah, they probably would do better at a fancy dress parade.
What a nightmare.
It's disgusting. You know, Chris is trying to run a business. He didn't just report that because he was bored and wanted something to do for shits and giggles. You know, it doesn't matter what was stolen, whether it was one 10ml bottle or whether they cleared out the whole shop. A theft is a theft. It is a crime.
Yeah.
But you know what really rips my knitting about the whole situation, right? Is Chris's hands are tied, because obviously with his license and all that, with the karate and being experienced in mixed martial arts and stuff, right? He's got to only defend himself, right?
Yeah, well, if he had reached out and smacked one of those guys, he would have been defending himself, because one of them said, "I've got a knife. What would you do if I robbed this place?"
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
but what really fucking annoys... This is what really annoys me, though. We live in a society in a day and age now where if Chris had reached out and been the first to do that, even with them saying, "I have a knife," he's the one that would have gotten fucking bother. Whereas I would have fucking pulled the wee shite over the counter and fucking taught him some manners and not given a fuck. Do you know what I mean? But because of Chris' position, he can't do that. It's terrible.
Like, read Vic's comment. They've basically done the same to him.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
No, see, these little shits...
Take my advice, Vic, get yourself a fucking big Rottweiler.
No. These little shits need to be taught some manners and then thank you for
you're fucking right to do. There's one thing I cannot stand is a thief. Like, how dare someone think they have an entitlement to take what doesn't belong to them? How dare they?
Who's saying they're not buying? No, that's fucking hilarious coming from you. Emporium Vapor got done over as well. Wow.
Oh shit.
Emporium.
Yeah, so why the fuck are we paying council tax?
Makes you wonder what you're paying your taxes for.
Okay, is it Emporium or Emporium? However the fuck it's spelled. Okay, Vic, that'll do it.
Yeah, that one. We'll just go with that one.
It's getting ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, there's always been these things, do you know what I mean? But the thing is, the police don't have the fucking resources that they used to have to be able to fucking do this. They're so fucking short-handed as well now because they've been cut back and cut back.
Yeah.
Do you see, when it comes to something like that, one of the reasons why the police don't want to deal with it, it's got fuck all to do with the fact that they don't have the resources. They just can't be fucking arse doing the paperwork. So they can't. Because the amount of... my uncle used to be a cop, and he took retirement from the police service a few years ago. He's had one of the higher-uppers with the fire service now at the international airport here.
Mm-hmm.
And he was giving me some idea as to the amount of paperwork they have to fill in. Do you see, if somebody rings them and complains even about something simple like the neighbour's dog barking at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Do you know he has 22 separate sheets of paperwork to fill out just for that one phone call, and that's before he even goes to the complainant's address?
Yeah, it is. There's Chris just saying if he'd hit them, he would have been arrested instantly and had to surrender his karate licence for investigation. If it is out of date, it can be prosecuted anyway for actual bodily harm, assault, and in some cases attempted murder, depending on the state of them when I hurt them. I know, it's fucking... my son's the same, as you know, he does the MMA and the UFC, do you know what I mean? He's training with UFC fighters and everything just now, so he's the same, Chris. He can't lift a hand. It's disgusting. I remember when I was burgled, when my two were very young before I met Zan, and my two were very young, and my flat was burgled. And they even took the kids' early learning centre fucking birthday vouchers and emptied their piggy banks, and they emptied all my jewellery and everything out. And it's a horrible, horrible feeling. It makes you feel dirty, do you know what I mean? And horrible that somebody's been in. But it took me 6 months, but I found out who did it. And they fucking paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty little bastards never come near my fucking door again.
I know, I think it's absolutely disgusting that people think that they've a God-given right to take what doesn't belong to them, you know? Something that someone else has worked long and hard for.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Police told me I would be in the wrong to hit them, let them take what they want and call 999. It can be replaced, I can't, so I'm just to let them take everything and do nothing. Fuck off. What a pile of shite. Do you know, the world's going fucking mad, isn't it? People are so worried about getting sued for stuff. And the problem is, you know, people now know that you can't fucking touch them. They know that, you know what I mean? You can do fuck all, so they just do it. There's no deterrent for them. All right, I'm getting on my soapbox.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you hear about that story a few years ago? Someone tried to rob a house and accidentally tripped over a coffee table, and they sued the owners of the house.
Never.
Yeah, they won.
I heard another one that happened. This is going back a few years ago now. There was a woman washed up her breakfast dishes, left the house to go to work. While she was at work, somebody broke her kitchen window, climbed in through the kitchen window, and because they lost their balance and slipped, and there was a kitchen knife on the drainer, and when they put their hand out onto the drainer to stop themselves from falling, they cut themselves quite severely on the knife, and they sued her. She was arrested and charged and spent 18 months in jail for possession of an offensive weapon.
Fuck off.
Even though the dirty wee bastard was breaking into her house at the time and she wasn't even there, so she technically was not in possession of the weapon.
Fuck off. Seriously, just go and take a flying fuck to yourself. That pish is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It comes to something when criminals have more rights than the victims.
That's why they just continue to do it, because
they know
there's no deterrent.
Yeah, there's no deterrent at all, and you look at it. They go to prison nowadays. What's prison? It's a fucking holiday camp. They have more comfortable beds than I've got. They've got fucking PlayStations, Xboxes, pool tables, access to the best gym equipment on the planet. Half of them come out better educated than they were when they went in.
I know.
You can get fucking university degrees in prison
Yeah,
nowadays.
like their fucking arse for them.
Exactly, and then people wonder why there's such a high rate of re-offenders. They're getting
Exactly,
such a cushy life of it. Getting such a cushy life of it in prison. That's why they keep going back.
Exactly, Sloan. It's the inconvenience and the violation. It's that horrible feeling of your personal space being violated. It's just horrible.
Yeah. Hey, Scuba.
Hey, Scuba.
Hey.
She's actually purple. It just looks blue on camera. It's actually purple.
Yeah, I posted a really shitty photo in the group if you want to see
it. You see, Scuba's getting excited, because his favourite colour's blue.
Scuba blue. It's now known as Scuba Blue.
Yeah.
I know. No, I know. It's just the world it's going mad. Do you know what I mean? There's a line, isn't there? I mean, we can't go back to the days where you just get fucking beat up for the slightest little thing. Do you know what I mean? But at least then there was some sort of deterrent. People knew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, they're up in court 40 times before they even get any jail time now. Do you know what I mean? Shit, it's like, anyway, let's talk about something happy. Damn, Chris, this juice is good. You need to get me more of this. I had a look online just to find out I was getting the melon. Do you know what I mean? I was trying to find out what the profile of it was. I can't see it for sale anywhere, so I don't know if it's one that's been discontinued or what, but I'm really enjoying it. That's the only thing with this crown tank. You've got to fill it constantly.
Have you not got your bubble glass for it yet?
No, I don't. No, not yet. But apparently, Em was saying it's the bubble glass that makes it top heavy to fall over.
Yeah.
It seems to be.
I've never knocked mine over yet.
Yeah, mine falls over just randomly. Don't even have to touch it. All I have to do is look at it and it falls over.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's been a few ones that have said that whenever they put the bubble glass onto the Crown 4 and put it onto that mod, because that mod is so light and it's quite thin, with the bubble glass on it and the extra weight it makes it top heavy and it falls over. There's been quite a few ones have actually broken the glass with it falling over.
Bill got arrested for vaping last year. Where were you vaping, Bill, to get arrested? Exactly, Irish. Back when every cop was 7 foot tall and would give you a beating before you went to the station. Throwing the book at him meant to get hit with the phone book. Exactly, yeah. That's what it was like.
Yeah, gone are the days when your friendly local beat cop would, give you a slap in the back of the head and send you home to your ma if you were giving him cheek.
Exactly, they get sued now for that. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was going to say, it depends where you were vaping.
I know.
Yeah.
Thailand. How would you get arrested for vaping? Unless it was exactly, Andy, it's a fucking nanny state we're in.
Yeah, exactly. Her saying you didn't tell your ma, otherwise you'd get another slap for her.
I know.
The street cop was an idiot. Apparently it was weed because it smelled sweet.
Ah, right.
I must about in town here. There's quite a lot of the cops in town here actually vape because they're not allowed to smoke on duty.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that says they can't vape, and a lot of them have took up vaping.
Yeah.
And like a good lot of the cops in town here are actually not that bad. You walk up the road with something like this in your hand, and the next thing they come over and start talking to you. What are you using? Where did you get it? Is it expensive? It's like it starts a conversation with them. And
it is such a conversation starter, though.
Yeah.
That way. I mean, the last time I was at the hospital for checkups. We were having a wee vape outside before we went in, and there was an older lady, probably in her 60s, came out and she was vaping, and then her husband came out behind her and he was vaping. And we stood and had a good old conversation with her for about half an hour about their vaping journey and what they were vaping on. It does. It kind of gets people talking.
Oh, it does, aye.
The coppers would give you a clip round the ear. I sound so old saying this, right? But I remember when I was young, I used to, if you come home from school with a punishment exercise or get into trouble, I would get into trouble off my mum and dad and say, well, whatever the teacher said, do you know what I mean, you deserved it, just do your punishment exercise and take it in the chin. And I've done that with my kids. But now there's a lot of parents come home and they phone the school and complain that fucking wee Joey has fucking got tickled or something, do you know what I mean? It's like fucking ridiculous. Parents are so defensive of every little thing. And it teaches kids that, you know what I mean, they don't have to toe the line, I think. Yeah. I sound really old saying that, don't I? But there wasn't very many vapors here until the shop opened up in April.
Yeah, that's the thing though. You a lot of times that maybe don't have vape shops in them, people are a wee bit kind of weirded out by it.
Yeah.
And they don't understand what it is, and you can sort of understand why they'd be curious, but
they're the people that still believe the mainstream media pish about popcorn long and all that sort of crap that's been spun out. That's true. That's true, Brew. I'm going to have to arrest you unless you let me try your juice. My old local Bobby just used to drag me home. Apparently my mum's smacks were far worse than anything he could ever dish out. I know that one, Village.
Yeah, Village. My ma was exactly the same. The beat cop, you didn't have to worry about. It was me ma. All the fucking height or she's the only person on the planet I'm feared of.
Yeah, Tolomac, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, there's so many vape shops out there that people don't know, that don't even know what they're talking about. They employ staff who are not vapers that don't know, or they don't train them or teach them about it. That's what we're up against. They just see it as a gravy train. I think that's why it's good to always find the good shops and try and promote them as hobbyists. Do you know what I mean? We should try and push them and promote them. And in case you didn't know, guys, Empire Vape, if you use the code BOE10, you get 10% off.
Yes, that's right, because we are now powered by Empire. Yay!
So yeah, if you're reordering salted caramel custard,
Yes.
use the code.
Use the code.
Yes, please, do use the code.
Yeah, what belt level is it that you supposedly become a danger? It's different. It's different colours though for different martial arts though, isn't it?
Mm.
Got arrested for walking home from my brother's at 3 a.m.
Bloke in a hoodie had been breaking into cars. Apparently it was me. You must
Yeah.
just look dodgy.
But he does look dodgy. I was just about to say that. That would look a wee bit dodgy. I can understand that one.
Yeah, I don't think breaking into cars is Bill's forte, though. Demolitions, on the other hand.
Yes, he likes to demolish
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
Him and Smurf.
demolitions. Yeah,
Him
him and
and
Smurf
Smurf
should team up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon that'd be a success right there. Yeah, as TC says, Bill, you're just an unlucky sort of cunt.
Yeah, the last time I was arrested because I was at my friend's hen weekend in Dundee, and apparently the main roundabout coming in and out of Dundee is not the place to dance. Me and my pal were having a dance in the middle of the roundabout.
I've never been arrested.
Well, I wasn't arrested. I just kind of sweet talked the coppers to give me a lift back to the hotel. Because by that point I was knackered. The heels were in the hand.
Yeah, no, never been arrested or anything like that.
No, neither have I. See, there it is right there, folks. Me and Ems are good wins. We're good wins. The rest of them, nah. But we're good wins.
Well, I've not been... Aye, that's a lie.
What are you raising the eyebrows for?
Exactly who hasn't danced on the roundabout? Exactly, Sloan? No?
There's not really any roundabouts near where we used to go
Oh,
out.
you've not fucking lived.
Yeah, you want roundabouts? Come here. There's like a roundabout every fucking 20 feet.
Yeah,
You know?
there's like in the city centre, there's not really any roundabouts, and that's where all the clubs and bars are. So yeah, there's not really anywhere to dance on a roundabout.
But there's so many roundabouts in this town. Pretty much every street, every road end has them here.
Our town
Everywhere.
and where Vic is and Irvine, all the new towns in Scotland were all designed with no crossroads and no traffic lights. It's all roundabouts. So it's all roundabouts and underpasses or bridges that you walk. There's not any pavements that go along the side of roads or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Everybody hide your scones. Kev's in.
hi Kev, how you doing?
Hey.
I've not made scones this week because I've had no nicotine. I've not had the patience to go and do it. Oh, Vic, I need to bring you down some of Jake's brownies. He's got these brownies down to pat now. Oh, fucking epic. It's great. I love it. He makes his brownies about 10 o'clock every night with a spoonful of ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. True blue. Me and Ems only have the horns to stop the halos from slipping. Yeah.
Oh, I've been in a skip whilst drunk. They're really hard to get out of.
Were you head first or feet first?
There was nothing in it. I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna get in the skip.
No,
her saying, my mum,
you want a real laugh. You want to get half a dozen of you together and hijack a few shopping trolleys out the back of Tesco's, up and down the main street in a shopping trolley. Now that's good fun. Never mind wheelie bin racing. Shopping trolleys are where it's at.
And my mum had told me stories like of how hard they are to get out of when you're smashed. So I was drunk and I saw a skip and was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. And actually, yeah, they are genuinely really hard to get out of.
Saying, I swear to God, I'm going to kick you straight square in the balls, son. I just fucking sang that in my head.
Yeah, skips are damn hard to get out of, especially when they're empty and you're wrecked. Yeah.
Yeah. Dolomite wants to know when you're making tatey scones.
This weekend. I make potato scones a lot. Whenever there's spare potato mash left over from dinners, I'll make up potato scones with them. Shopping trolley surfing is fantastic, especially down a big hill.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh I.
Thomas, don't encourage it. The National Scone Baking Championships are coming up, are they? You entering, Sloan? Do you know why I like
Sloan, don't
scones?
say that out loud because Kev will be banging your front door trying to get the scones off you.
I haven't missed a sign thing, have I?
What?
I haven't missed a sign thing, have I?
No.
Good.
Well, what's up?
The business is going to close down, put it that way.
Why?
Tomorrow.
Oh.
Because the Barclays have cancelled that account, it's gone. All the money's gone. Everything's gone.
Okay.
Oh, somebody sounds extremely pissed off.
Yeah.
That just doesn't look right, Brew. that skin coloured fish in there, condom, no, doesn't look right. Everybody in chat is now thinking, what the hell is she looking at?
Everybody in chat, just keep an eye on the bitches Facebook group later on. Those memes that we're getting spammed with. We'll be on there later.
What the fuck? I had to look twice at that.
Yeah.
It depends on how big your tits are as to what animal you can make out of them, isn't it?
Like a freaking rhino out of mine.
Exactly, Gary. It's okay, Gail. It's Brew you're talking about. We understand. See, they all know that you traumatises.
Yeah, so guys, the next time Darren says it's our fault, now you know it's bullshit, right?
It's really not.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, so
No worries.
Iris really wants to know why having to get out of a skip while drunk is a rite of passage for Aim's family.
It's just one of those things my mum told me, and I was like, it can't be that difficult. So I tried it, and it really is.
Because skips are actually quite deep.
Yeah.
It's the slanty
fact that
side.
they're
Like
angled.
sides.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't get it in heels, that's for sure. See, I'd take my bra off and use it as a fucking sling to hook round a corner to pull myself up.
But yeah, they are really, really hard to get out of. I mean, try it. Like, it's quite fun, but it gets stressful after a while.
No, rite of passage here was doing the pub crawl in Glasgow, where you go up Sucky. Is it up Sucky, down Bucket, and along Argyle? That's what they say, and it's like
Hey, Ogre.
it's a 3-street pub crawl. And by the time you get to the end, you're just it's not even worth trying. You need to take a run up to get out. Do you know, you're saying skip? I'm not even thinking of skip. I'm thinking of the big industrial fucking bins with the lids. I think no wonder she can't get out of one of them. But it's an actual.
Yeah, it's like an actual full
not
skip.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been so drunk I've slept in a bathtub with a snake. Never once have I been so drunk I've seen an empty skip and thought, I want to try and get out of that.
Right, this is the thing. When I'm smashed, I still have my wits about me because I was always the one to make sure everyone got home okay and was looking after everyone. And I was obviously like still well aware and thought, yeah, my mum told me about that. I'm gonna fucking try it.
Oh, good, Ogre. Glad. I hope it works for you, darling. You're going to try it in your me pod.
Yeah, fingers crossed it works.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope it works. It's kept my children and my husband alive the 4 days I was nick free. Aye, got some right stories, eh? Drink is a wonderful thing until it's not. About 5 minutes every 4 hours, good. You'll figure it out. Just play about with it, and then you'll figure out exactly what suits you and what works for you.
Yeah.
I know. Excuse me every minute.
You're not going to see the effects of it straight away. You will have to give it time till you get used to it, but it may take a few days for it to start taking effect properly. But once it does, hopefully it should help a good bit anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ptolemy, why do you have to be careful around alcohol? Do you do really silly things like buy a lot of yoga mats? Oh, sorry, no, that's Gary's job.
Oh, vanilla vodka. My favourite's red berry Ciroc. That's the best.
Yeah, Bill, I have to admit the vanilla vodka is really, really nice.
Red berry Ciroc and lemonade is just perfect.
Oh no, Jules has got me converted to pink gin. Fucking love that stuff now. Although I said to you that new Vimto they've brought out, watermelon, peach and strawberry,
Yeah.
is rather nice with a wee gin in it. It's been going down quite well.
I do like gin. It just gives me, if I drink enough of it though, it's the one thing that just gives me a killer hangover.
Yeah. Telling you, Barocca for the win.
But I do like gin.
I don't like gin. I do not like gin.
Yeah, homemade Bailey's brew, but I wouldn't fucking know because I've not had any yet.
Oh, Gail, it is amazing stuff.
Stop rubbing it in.
It's alright.
No, you're going to
Gail. Yeah, you forget, we're coming to yours for Sully's vape night, so you can have him on kitchen duty before he's even got a foot in the door.
That's a given. You're not even going to get to come and sit down. You're just going straight into that kitchen. I'll have it all set out for you to make, and then that'll be us sorted.
Yep.
I know. So talking of vape meets, those that don't know, I put it up in the bitches page. The next Glasgow meet is, when is it, Bunny? 30th.
30th of March.
So, yeah. So it'll be good.
So,
looking forward to it.
and
rhubarb gin
Gail.
and ginger ale.
Gail.
Nice. No.
Yes, Gary Darren's coming over as well, and there may be a third one coming, possibly.
Is she coming?
She might, because she's seen the post yesterday, and she's had a rough few days, and me and her were having a good long chat last night. We were talking about the vape meet coming up, and she's like, when is it? So I told her, and she says, yeah, I've got no cons on that weekend. And she says, would anybody have any objections if I come too? I went, I doubt it. I says, but you would have to let me clear it first. I said, because we'll probably have to do a wee bit of rejigging for like space-wise and whatnot.
As long as she's happy to just sleep where she falls, it's not an issue.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. I says, you never know. I says, you might be lucky enough because, you know, Sinead might be going to stay with her mum that weekend, so if that's the case, you could have her room, or, you know, they do have like a massive great big corner sofa. It's really, really comfy, so if you get yourself established in there, you'll just die.
Well,
she's like, I don't care.
People, so.
Yeah, she says, I don't care if I've got a pillow to put my head on and a quilt to cover my shoulders. I'm grand.
Yeah,
so
no,
yes, Minnie Bunny might be coming too.
Good stuff. And are you and Chris coming up? Hopefully.
I don't know. We're gonna try.
Oh yes,
please do.
We're gonna try.
Please do. It would be epic. We can get Brew to make enough homemade Baileys for all of us and have a party. Don't try, do.
Yeah, just do it.
I think that would be epic. Yeah, it would be.
It's not quite that easy, but like I say, we are doing our best.
Because there's quite a few going to this meet that aren't going to make it to Expo. So that's why we try and do them, do you know what I mean? Because it's so much money for a lot of people up here to go down to Expo.
Yeah.
We try and do it so that they're getting a wee kind of meet thing as well.
Mm-hmm. And Sully's meets are epic.
Yeah, they are.
Fun.
Especially when he's drunk and he answers the shop phone. Allah Akbar.
Yeah, 30 seconds beforehand, standing with the biggest glass of fucking Southern Comfort you've ever fucking seen. He's standing there going, I'm such a bad Muslim, you know, glug, glug, glug. And then the phone rings, Allah Akbar, and he starts going off. It's like, I just died. I just completely died.
He's fucking hilarious.
Chris will get it sorted, don't worry, babe.
As Vic said, the funniest thing about that was he did that, and just after he did that, Stevie went, boom.
That's right.
I just fucking fell a bit laugh.
I literally nearly fell off the fucking stool I was sitting on. It was absolutely hilarious. Oh, God. No, it was a great laugh, so I'm looking forward to the next one.
Stop quaffing gin then. I fucking quaff gin all I like, thank you very much. And it's all Jules' fault. It's her that's got me back into the taste for gin, so I'm blaming Jules and that's my story and I'm sticking to it. They pink gins we had though that night we were out with yous and all of that was yes. Really nice. And the best bit was the strawberries at the end that were absolutely loaded with
Alcohol soaked. Mm.
Yay! Saintie's going again. Yay!
Good stuff, Saint. I'll get to kick you in the balls this time. Maybe Jules will keep a wee scone for you this time. She was guarding them with her life last week, wasn't she?
Oh, I should. Yeah,
Looking.
yeah, she does that with the scones though. As long as Stevie makes those little fucking pasty things.
Oh, the Jamaican patties that he made.
Oh,
You need to taste these, honestly, Em, they're amazing.
They were lush.
Yeah.
I had quite a few of those.
I know. And now that Sloane's got her cooker, Sloane, I hope you can come, darling. I know you've got your family parties and all that.
So the family, tell them you're busy on the Saturday. You'll see them on Sunday. Just come hang out with us.
Exactly.
Yeah, Chris, listen to chat. Don't worry, we got this.
Jills, no, the scones are mine. Mine, I tell you.
What the hell's happening, Chris?
Basically, the bank account's non-existent.
Yeah, Barclays have cancelled the account because of bitch face.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Do I need to come down and fucking hit vinegar tits or something?
It'll be fine.
The scones are mine, I tell you. I know, well, if you make it this time, Sloane, now you've got an oven, you need to do some baking. Because Sloane's an epic baker as well. I'll get Jake to make some brownies.
Sainty, don't worry, babe, I'll make you some scones and bring some over. And they will be just for you.
There you go. I'll be going still 2 cabinets I haven't destroyed yet. Smurf. Well, we're going to be sitting at the bigger bit like we did last time because the cabinets and all that, there's so many of us now that go, it's too tight for us all to sit in that wee place, but it's a bit overwhelming, so
yeah.
Take my scones, saying I don't eat anyway. Well, fuck, now we know who's Bunny's favourite.
No, it's okay. The only reason I'm doing that is because I know rightly that if Gail walks in through the door with scones, Jules is going to be on them like flies on honey. So, but yeah, I had already promised Sainty that I'd bring him some scones over, so I'll bring him over his own special wee batch. I did that when I was going over to Expo last year as well. There were certain people I took them over their own wee box of goodies. Yeah,
you did. So. Vic disappeared with his brownies straight up to his room, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes, full box of brownies get caned rather quickly. Because he came back down, he still had some of the evidence on his face.
Go and get a Stella, Gary. It's Friday after all. Did I hear a dog come in? She's do you know she's on a diet? No, she's a fat wee shit. So she's on a diet and Shannon's been walking her 3 times a day for like 4 and 5 hours a day. She's been out walking and she's absolutely fucking done it. Doug, every time you look at her, she's lost. Between that and her CBD, but she's losing weight. It's working.
That's good.
Well, don't say that, Jules, you'll excite him.
She's just told him the whip's were ready.
I know. So it's 9 o'clock, guys, before we go on, and our wonderful scientist is going to educate us all. We'll give you a 5-minute warning to go and do what you need to do for a comfort break, get coffee or a drink or whatever it may be. Andy, how's your daughter? Don't think you'll be at Expo this year. I know, well, if things don't change for us, Andy, it's going to be a struggle for us too. We're up near at the moment whether we're going to make it. Which is shite because I'm desperate to go down.
Yeah.
Just trying to find where I put my notes. If I don't have my notes, I'm fucked. Oh no, there they are. I found them.
Yay.
Tomax getting his 1970s chemistry set out.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. It's not heavy at all. It's fine.
Oh no, Ash, no, we're not doing a quiz tonight. Ems is doing some sciencey stuff, so.
It's dead easy. Don't stress. Like, it's fine.
That's good because you're talking to the girl that blew up the chemistry lab in school and was advised to take languages instead. And don't do the whole science thing.
But no, yeah, it's dead chill, dead easy. It's not
I
heavy.
find it interesting, that's the thing, but my brain just isn't wired for it. Oh, Andy, I hope she's getting better soon, darling.
It's good that she's out of hospital, though.
Yeah.
It is good.
Because they usually always say you recover better when you're at home. You know, in the comfort of your own bed, you know, and stuff like that.
You'll be shattered running about after the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Nobody fall asleep. Okay, it's not that bad, I promise.
Why is it people think that science is boring? Because it's not, it's dead interesting.
Yeah.
And it's relevant, so.
Exactly, it's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
I know. No, sit up straight, pay attention.
Sodium and water equals bang.
Not heavy is good. I'm easily confused. I love science, says Andy. There we go, see?
At least someone's supportive.
I think it's epic. We're very, very lucky to have Em that she can do this.
Mm-hmm.
I will warn you, I'll
Exactly.
be reading a lot. Just I remember most of it, but I will be reading a lot to make sure I haven't missed anything.
Cindy, you need to get your ass down to Expo with us, pal. Seriously.
Yeah.
Listen, see if you think that you're not going to Expo because you're shy and you don't talk. That pish doesn't wash with us. So you'd just be booking your hotel and going. End of discussion. Mama Bear has spoken. Because you don't get away with any of that, do you?
Nope.
No. You would love it, Saint. You would love it.
No meth cooking today, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you're expecting Walter White, this is not the channel for you.
And there's no tests.
Evening, Slarty.
No tests.
Well,
Hi,
if you're
Charlie.
brassic, that's fine. That's a good enough excuse. We'll let you away with that one. You hate the free shitters at Expo. It really puts you.
Just don't go on a Sunday.
You just don't go on the Sunday, or if you go on the Sunday, you just stay away from them. Or
Yeah,
like
if you go on the Sunday, sit at the bar with us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I do.
we
Pretty much
just
all of
ignore them.
Sunday.
We stay away from them. So it's
Yeah.
not.
We just
We've
get
got it set
exceptionally drunk and commandeer the whole fucking chill out area and
Avoid the stage.
avoid
When
the
the stage
stage at
gets
all
busy.
costs.
It's not as bad as the 1st October that Zan and I went. We were there with Brew and that. It was really bad because the chill out area was right next to the stage, and we were sitting and there was bottles getting launched towards us, and people were getting hit and everything, and it was so loud and you couldn't escape it. But the way that they've got it set out now, there's always areas away from the stage that are quieter that you can go to, and that's where we tend to congregate, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't have a lab coat anymore because obviously when I left uni, my lab coat stayed in the lab, so I don't even have a lab coat anymore.
Exactly, they're easy to get away from. You're hoping to do Saturday instead of the Sunday. Are you going down, Bud? I'm looking forward to it, but we'll just need to wait and see. Exactly, you didn't hear the music, you just felt the subwoofers. Yes, she does need a lab coat. She does.
Yeah,
With
Chris,
Pictures on one side and Empire on the other.
That's the
That
thing.
way.
Though, Chris has ulterior motives for telling her she needs a lab coat.
He does.
Well, what he does, what they do off cameras there, doesn't he? I think during the stream that would be.
I know you can. I know you can.
I used to have to wear them when I had my own massage business, aromatherapy business. So I used to have to wear the whites then.
I had a really fancy one that had University of Liverpool embroidered on it.
No.
Yeah.
You need one that says science tits.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, there we go. We're getting this hashtag trending now. Vape and Irish is in there. Ems needs a lab coat.
Yeah, yeah, send us some bits and that and we'll get her a lab coat.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, so on the subject of bits, if any of you guys have an Amazon Prime account, you can link said Amazon Prime account with your Twitch Prime account and you get like free subscriptions every month and whatnot. So, yay.
Hint, give us all your subscriptions.
Yes. That was a very subtle hint. Fucking hit that subscribe button. Yeah, there you go. Chris says it'll go to good use.
Yes, there you go.
No, now is not the time.
Yeah, and at this point, Chris is going, yes, now is exactly the time. Gail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
£27 on Amazon for a lab coat.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's about the price. They're quite pricey, to be fair. Ah, those stains won't show up on a white lab coat. Ah, no, don't go
Irish.
there.
You.
Ah. Hey,
there you go.
you.
Thank you, Slarty. Yay. Yeah, Ash, Gail's just gone offline. She'll be back in a bit.
Yeah.
Shaper with a nurse's uniform. Kevin.
Oh.
Someone call the ambulance. Got visions of lab coats, suspenders, and stockings here. Jesus, Andy!
Don't, you'll set Chris off.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, Chris will be sitting there going, fuck, it's getting warm in here.
Everyone's just giving him ideas.
No, Irish, no, you can't blame that on me. Ah, there we go. There's Cynthia in the bits. Thank you, sweetheart.
Anime style nosebleeds over here.
Rocky Horror Picture Show comes to mind. Oh dear. Yeah, Ptolemaic Jules, yeah, Gail will be fine.
Oh god, stop posting links for lab coats. Stop making this a thing.
That's a lot better than £27.
Ems, what's today's science lecture title? There isn't really a specific title. I've just sort of called this general slot, it's science, bitches. So.
Nice one, Andy. Too much information, mate, but nice one. Empire, thank you. Your purchase was successful. Guess who's just bought a
I bet he has as well.
Yeah.
It's a thing now, hashtag sorry, not sorry. I bet it is a thing. For fuck's sake.
The thing is, though, if he's getting you a lab coat, he should be getting one for Christina as well. You know, because every scientist needs a lab assistant. You know? So. Thank you, TC.
TC, thank you. This needs to stop. I did have one. I had two. One I accidentally left.
Oh my god, it's sour. Fuck off. Someone remove that twat, please. Thank you, Santi.
Fair enough. I left one in my old lab placement, and then my replacement one was it belonged to the department that I was working for, so it stayed there.
Nice.
So.
Welcome back, sweetheart.
Sorry.
No, don't be that. You okay?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good.
Just a wee
blip.
I just wait for a wee nap.
Yeah.
Dr. Christina Babes.
Are we closer to getting our lab coat?
Yes, Santi has donated 500 bits, and TC has donated 500 bits. We have gained a new subscriber. We also gained a troll who got very promptly banned. Yes, Santi, super spanner.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
I'm fine, honestly. I know it's not something that you see me do. I try and avoid doing it on camera, so don't worry, please. It's the girls know, and everybody who knows me knows that I do this, and I'm fine. It just takes me a wee while to come back round. It's all part of my health things.
Chris loves us, guys. Fuck off, Chris. You started this.
Don't forget, like,
Darren, there was a couple of people found, links to lab coats on Amazon, and then Darren just fucking totally top trumped them by finding one on eBay for £4.
You're not going to get out of this one now, babe. That's it.
I don't think I'm going to get in it for £4. What size is it?
It's your child size.
Okay.
Busted! You're not getting out it.
I hope he's ordered the biggest size, because lab coats run small.
Yeah, they do tend to.
Oh, they are. Are you trying to get one for Christina too?
Yes, because that's what I was saying. That if Ems gets a lab coat, we have to get one for Christina, because every scientist needs a lab technician.
Very true. Very true. Yes. Sorry, I was just catching up and chat there. It's better if it's a tight fit, to be honest. God, you lot, your minds are always go there, don't they?
The problem is with lab coats, if you have boobs and it's slightly too small, you get that massive gaping hole.
Oh, I know.
It's the same with blouses. And it's not flattering.
No, it's not. You've always got to go a couple of sizes bigger just to accommodate the boobies.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Got to fit the flasks in exactly, Chris. I know. Right, so will we do this sciencey bit then?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Are you ready, guys?
I don't know whether I am, so fuck knows anyone else.
Don't worry about it, babe, we'll enjoy it.
Okay, so basically what I did was all the articles that were posted in the Bitches group on Facebook, I sort of obviously read the article and found the research that the articles were about, just to hopefully explain a little bit behind why the articles said what they did. So yeah, it should be fairly simple, like it's not going to be heavy.
Wee Gary's getting excited. He says, yes, time to learn to blow shit up.
You wish. No, this is all to do with vaping and not exploding moths, because that's ridiculous. So the first one I looked at was the one about where it's saying that vaping helps people quit smoking and it's twice as likely to help them stay off cigarettes. The links are all in the Bitches chat. I'll repost them because they're quite a way down. I'll repost them all later. So basically they looked at e-cigarettes and nicotine replacement therapy. So things like patches, gum, that kind of thing.
All the stuff that didn't work for any of us.
All the stuff that typically didn't work for any of us. So it was pretty easy. Like, their setup was just 2 groups. Both of them were smokers. One moved to vaping, one moved to nicotine replacement therapy. It's fairly standard. Everything was provided for the first 3 months for the nicotine replacement therapy guys, but it wasn't provided for the e-cig users.
Right.
Which was a bit funny. Like, they were provided with 1 bottle of 18 milligram, which isn't great for everyone. So they were told to go out and buy what they needed, which is a bit stupid, because that would probably put a lot of people off.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I picked up on, was that it was a bit biased, because to have everything provided for the nicotine replacement guys and not for the e-cig users.
Yeah.
So I think the figure would have been probably higher if they paid for everything for both groups.
Yeah, it seems a bit biased. It seems very biased that they paid for the big pharma produced replacement therapy and expected the vapers to subsidise it themselves. What was the point of doing the study if they weren't going to pay for both parties to do it?
Exactly.
Because then they're not getting like accurate research, especially for the value for money side of it.
And they didn't tailor the nicotine for the individual.
These are all smokers who were doing this and trying vaping for the first time.
Yeah.
So why didn't they set them up with a starter pack?
They did. They provided a starter kit, but 1 bottle of 18 milligram to last them 4 months.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. No.
And it was 18 milligram for all of them.
Oh no.
So, you know, if you're only smoking 5 a day, 18 milligram is not going to work for you.
No,
we started on 6 milligram. I was a 30 a day smoker and I started on 6 milligram and it was too much. We only lasted 6 weeks on that before dropping.
Exactly. So they've come up with this figure that vaping is twice as likely to help you quit, but it probably would have been higher if they tailored everything to the actual user. Mm-hmm. So, like, this 2 times more likely is probably a lower estimate.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to that. So basically, what they did was everything was provided for the folks for the first 3 months, and they had like behavioural support, so sort of like therapy and doctor checkups for 4 months. And what they did is they considered quitting as not smoking for an entire year. And this was biochemically tested. The funny thing is, though, with this biochemical test, I couldn't find any information actually out about what they tested.
Right.
So I think, depending on what they tested, the issue arises when they could have smoked up until like a week before they knew they were having the test.
Yeah.
Stopped for the test, and every biochemical like indication that they smoked would have been like eliminated, would have been gone. So like I don't know how they've managed to test that, but I'm a bit iffy on that one.
That does sound a bit.
I don't know. It just seems to be a very biased, one-sided sort of study.
Either way, though, despite all of that in sort of negative towards the vaping side, they still found that it was basically twice as high for the vapers to not smoke than it was for the nicotine replacement therapy group to not smoke. So 1 year abstinence was 18% for vapers and 9.9 for the nicotine replacement therapy.
So it's actually been positive outcome for
So it's been positive outcome despite everything being in favour for the nicotine replacement therapy.
Yeah.
So I think that value would be a lot higher if they like reran the test and did it right. What else do I have for this? They also found...
It doesn't seem like there was... Andy's just saying you need to have a level playing field. It doesn't seem like there was a level playing field at the beginning of that.
No, not to me.
No, that's why I'm saying it seemed like a very one-sided study. Whereas the people using the readily available bog standard over-the-counter replacement therapies were getting everything handed to them, whereas somebody wanting to try it from the vaping side was only getting like one bottle of e-liquid, and then they had to supply everything else themselves,
Exactly.
i.e. the mod, the tanks, all
But
the
it
extra
does-
juice that they need for the 4-month study.
I mean, for all we're questioning the actual study itself and the science behind it, it does actually show what we all know, that vaping works. So if it was a study that had been done that had been a level playing field, as Em says, what would the results of that then been?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other funny thing as well, with the nicotine replacement therapy, the people in the group could pick what they wanted. They weren't all given a specific one. They could pick what they wanted.
Right, so
And the
that
way I think they should have done it was have like 5 or 6 different groups. A group of vapors, a group on gum, a group on the patches,
Yep.
a group on like a combination, just to see, rather than just letting them pick and choose.
I
which I thought
remember
was a bit
when I
weird.
tried the patches. I had a patch on my arm and a patch on my arse, and I was still smoking. It just didn't work for me.
I used the patches for all of 2 days, and I had to stop using them
They burned
because,
me.
yeah, they burnt me as well. And it wasn't just the area where the patch was that burnt. Once it started to burn the skin, the whole arm went, and I had to stop using them.
Yeah.
I thought, first day, I thought maybe I had put a patch on that was, too strong. So I went and got ones that were like lesser nicotine content in them, and they had exactly the same effect. There was no difference at all. So yeah, I stopped using those. I went back onto the fags again. I just gave it up as a bad job, and I went back onto the fags again, and I found the only thing that got me off it was vaping.
Yeah, I just read that. The sample size was around 900.
Also, it was a decent size.
It was pretty good, to be fair. What else did I say? So there was more nausea reported in the nicotine replacement therapy group, but more obviously mouth and throat irritation for the vapors.
Yeah.
So in terms of sort of like negative side effects, it was basically on par. Vapors did see a reduction in cough and phlegm production though, so vapors actually coughed less
Yeah.
than those on nicotine replacement therapy. And vapors were also still likely to be using the device after 1 year than the nicotine replacement therapy group. So the nicotine replacement therapy group sort of weaned themselves off the need for nicotine more than the vapors did.
But then when you think about it, you can't really become a hobbyist about fucking NRT patches or gum the way you can about vaping.
And also, the people that dropped out of the study weren't discounted. They were assumed to have gone back to smoking. So again, if a lot of those, if they hadn't actually gone back to smoking and just didn't want to participate anymore, that value would have still been higher if they'd probably just have been discounted.
Yeah.
So.
It's interesting though, isn't it? I mean, when you look at how they've actually done the study, I mean, it's basically confirming what we know, but things like that still annoy me. It angers me because even in a scientific study, they're loading it towards or against vaping.
Yeah, and vaping still sort of...
And it's still winning out.
Yeah.
It just, that annoys me. I mean, if it had been a level playing field from the beginning, it'd come out that NRT works better, then it'd be great, But when it's not, and the scientific study is not set up in the way you would expect it to be, it kind of makes you discount the actual study itself. Well, it does me anyway, even though it's come out on our side. It makes me discount the study.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but everything to me points that value would actually be higher.
Yeah.
I reckon, if everything considered, I reckon it'd be around 4 times more likely. Something around that. It's like they fucked up the study that badly that I reckon it'd be around the 4-5 times mark.
I don't think you'd be far off there, babe. I don't. Yeah, she does talk posher when she's talking science.
So another one that I found, sort of on a slightly different topic, but it was looking at the health impacts. And it was a bit of a weird one, and it's the first study that I'd come across that they actually used non-smoking, non-vapors at the start. So they got a group of non-smokers to start vaping and a group of non-smokers to compare to.
Right.
So basically, like, you wonder, like, why would they do that? But if you think about it, it makes sense because they both have a level playing field to start off with.
Yeah.
So there's no lung damage to start off with. So they're all on the same baseline. which actually gives you a better comparison of like the health impacts. So if everyone's healthy to start off with, you can actually compare better between the two. Yeah. So they looked at, this is a long list, blood pressure, heart rate, body weight, lung function, respiratory systems, exhaled breath nitric oxide, exhaled carbon monoxide, and they did scans of the lungs.
Okay.
And the problem with this one that I found was a really, really small sample size. So the group of non-smokers that they got to vape was only a sample size of 9, which is tiny, but it's really, really hard to find
people who'd be willing
non-smoking vapors.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard to find. So it's the first study that I've ever come across that they've actually managed to find enough people to stick with it. But it at least gives like an indication of like preliminary results and stuff. So it was conducted over 3.5 years, which is quite a long time, to be fair. So that's one thing in their favour. But it's actually quite short when it comes to health impacts. So again, it's just sort of used as like a preliminary thing rather than it's definite.
Right.
It's a good indication.
It's a longer term than a lot of the studies are done over.
Yeah. What the fuck is that thing on the shelf moving behind you? It's Chris's lucky cat. So 4 vapors quit the study, which could mean that they experienced negative effects of vaping. So there's like kind of an element of bias on that because they didn't actually find out why they quit.
Alright, okay.
So that's a bit dodgy. But what they did find was that there was no significant difference between the 2 groups in any of the health factors looked at. So that's a really, really good start.
Wow. Okay.
Like, this isn't to say that none occur, because obviously it's a short amount of time when it comes to health.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to say that all the vapors in the study never went on to smoke any cigarettes. But 2 stopped vaping completely, and 2 of the non-smoking, non-vaping group actually started smoking during the time. So in like the control non-smoking group, 2 started smoking, but none of the vapors started smoking.
Wow.
And what's the betting that the 2 that started smoking is the one that all the naysayers will say, will use for the excuse? You see, vaping's a gateway, isn't it?
But it's not that they were the non-smoking, non-vaping group that started smoking.
Yeah. So that really, although it is a small sample size, that really does debunk this notion that it is a gateway.
Yeah, it seemed from that study, at least, that non-smokers were more likely to start smoking than vapors were to start smoking.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's interesting, eh? Because
It makes you think.
I mean, I know how many of us vapors have actually switched from smoking to vaping for health reasons. I know I'm one of them.
My dad as well.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, that's a big majority of vapors is been for health reasons. I know that, people do it to save money, which they then realise is a waste of fucking time because of shiny itis. But I think the majority of people would switch for health reasons.
Yeah,
I knew.
It's interesting.
I knew I had to do something whenever I couldn't even go to the top of my stairs without having to stop halfway up them. I knew I had to do something, so...
Yeah. But it's good that they're doing these studies now, do you know what I mean, to back up what we all know, that we're actually getting the science behind this, to give us something as proof, give us something to back up the fight, so to speak.
Yeah.
And now that things are, longer term studies are coming out as well, because it's obviously more mainstream now than it was 4 or 5 years ago. There's longer term studies that are coming out, which can only be a good thing.
I mean, 3.5 years isn't bad. Like, it's probably the longest study I've come across.
Yeah.
Normally they're about a year, so 3.5 years is a good place to start.
Yeah.
Well, Zan and I we started vaping up with 3 years in May, so just short of the 3-year mark. So I'm kind of coming up around there now.
It'll be my 4 year on the 19th of this month. In 4 days' time, it'll be my 4 years.
It's the same. Everybody's journey's so individual, isn't it? And everybody's journey's different. But as far as the health impact of it goes, vaping has helped me massively. Massively. Not just, like the fact I'm not smoking anymore, or financially. I have COPD and I'm asthmatic, and that's why I had to start vaping. I had no choice. So the fact that I don't even have to use my inhalers all the time anymore. I use them when I start to get a cold. Whereas before I was on my inhalers 8 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Grove's kind of right there. It's really hard to get independent studies done, though. Most favour the people who pay for them to be conducted. It's true, but any studies that there is a conflict of interest, you have to state it. Otherwise, the paper is invalid. And I had a look through all these studies to find out if any of them had conflicts of interest, and there weren't. A lot of them were like the department for like tobacco and all of these. So for studies like that to come out in favor of vaping, it's kind of interesting, because even like studies into tobacco and stuff are saying that vaping is better.
Yeah.
Right. The third one is an interesting one. So this is all about secondhand vapor.
Oh, good stuff, because I was just talking to my sons about this tonight.
So this study, admittedly, it was only done in one vape shop in California, but it is a very, very small shop, and there was no ventilation, and there was 13 members of the public vaping in that shop alongside all the staff.
Okay.
So it was a really, really fucking foggy shop with no ventilation. And basically they just took air samples, and this is a long list of things they tested for.
Okay.
So they tested for nicotine, and there was none detected. They tested for formaldehyde, and there was formaldehyde there, 7.2 parts per billion. And this sounds like it's a stressful thing and something to be concerned about, but it's not. This is actually the baseline value for air anywhere.
Yeah.
Even outside in your house, this is well within the limits.
Yeah.
So, that was sort of to be expected. So there is no concerning formaldehyde in the air. They tested for glycidol, and there was none tested. Diacetyl, obviously the thing that everyone panics causes popcorn lung.
Yeah.
None detected. They tested for ethyl benzene, toluene, acetaldehyde, acetonitrile, basically all of the bad shit they tested for. It's a long list.
This is all a lot of the chemicals that are within cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nicotine exposure was essentially non-existent, and I'm talking minimal, barely testable, detectable levels.
Right.
So, and any concerns about popcorn lung is utter bullshit, because again, there was nothing tested and found. So
And what's the betting that that study, the results of that study, never see the light of day in America? They will still believe all the propaganda that they use to try and shut down the vaping industry. They will believe all that pish. They will still believe this whole popcorn lung. I had someone on a gamer channel on Twitch one night tell me that vaping basically burns the back of your throat and the inside of your lungs. It burns.
That's an uneducated twat. So
Yes, and when I tried to tell him that he was wrong in his information, I got vilified not only by him but by other members in the show that night. I was told that if I believed any of the so-called positive stories about vaping, that I was a gullible idiot who needed to be put down. And yeah, I got ripped into because I dared to voice an opinion. So I told every one of them, well, that's fine. You go back to your uneducated, backstreet fucking redneck ways, and I will sit here quite happily enjoying my vape, laughing at you. Good night. Checked out.
And it's interesting because this study was conducted by a guy that had tried to ban smoking in bars and restaurants, casinos, and every indoor place for years in America.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not sort of one to avoid the health risks. And he said he has no problem with having people vape indoors. Like, he sees nothing wrong with it.
That's epic.
So
I know it's a very, very small study. I remember when this study was first done and first came out, and it's a very small sample study and whatever, but the fact that that is out there now, as Bunny said, especially for people in the States, you know, but for us as well, I mean, we're so lucky over here, and it's becoming more and more accepted to vape indoors in this country. I reckon in another couple of years we'll be able, you know, the majority of people will be able to vape inside with the way it's going. But studies like that can only help that fight and can only help that.
And for it to be in such a small shop as well with like little ventilation, and for it to be clouded out, they made a note that it was so cloudy in there.
I was talking to my sons, the three of them, earlier on tonight about it, and they had differing opinions on it. And one of them said to me, "I bet you're biased, Mum, because you vape," which is a fair point. And I was like, "That's true." I says, "But I don't vape, do you know what I mean, uneducatedly. I've looked into it, I've educated myself, I've made an informed decision about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't vape in the house around yous willy-nilly. It's not something that I just do without having educated myself, subject used to it."
Yeah, why would you subject your kids to something that you think is bad for them?
Exactly. Whereas I smoked around them, but I only ever smoked in the kitchen. And, you know, before we wouldn't smoke anywhere else in the house. We smoked at the back door in the kitchen. But if they came into the kitchen, we didn't suddenly all of a sudden put our fag out and disappear. But we all know that as smokers, do you know what I mean? The majority of smokers are like that. But I think as you switch from smoking to vaping, you become a lot more aware of people around you, of having that respecting other people's wishes and things a bit more.
Yeah.
I know I do. Although I do vape where I want, when I want.
It's that thing where, you know, you stood outside vaping and the smoker's like, ugh, fucking disgusting, and then lights up a cigarette, you're just like
at the restaurant like the other week.
It's fucking ridiculous.
The guy complained and me and him were like that, and Jules
blowing it towards him. Yeah, ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I've had the people doing the whole fake coughing and waving the arms about bullshit, and, you know, telling me that I'm causing them cancer and all the rest of it, and all the while I'm just standing there going, "Is that right?" Yeah, crack on. Lovely.
Give them a fucking
Well done.
Oscar.
Yep. If you just go down that way and turn left, you'll pick up your Darwin Award around the corner.
But yeah, they're the three I looked at. I didn't want to drag it on for too much, make it too much for you all, but yeah, there you go. Told you it was easy. Told you it was easy. Nice and
Big
easy.
round of applause. That was awesome, darling. No, but see, this is the thing, because you have the ability to do that. You have the ability to transfer all the science bit into plain language that all of us can understand. Do you know what I mean? And that's a gift that not a lot of people have. And it's such a massive thing, especially with the fight and the advocacy and the fight for, you know, getting vaping heard about. So good on you, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Good on you. I'm very proud. Are you proud? I'm very proud of us.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I try to remain as unbiased as I can be. Yes. Yeah. I pointed out everything that was wrong with studies that were in our favour. So
The thing is, though,
Well, that's
you
epic.
know, you have to point out the flaws in the studies as well, because
Yeah.
a lot of people do take a lot of studies at their base word, and a lot of times their words are wrong, and that's when you have the problem of people being misinformed. You know,
It goes back to who's funded the study as well, as Em said, you know, because then you look to see, like, the ICOS, right? Let's bring it up. The ICOS studies. I'm sorry, breathe, darling, breathe. Right, but you go back to that, and these studies that they did, you know, you have to look a wee bit further into things than just take it, as you say, the base word.
Mhm.
Yep. No, there's no tests or anything, guys. Just absorb some of the information, and then when some smoker on the street tells you that it's unhealthy for you, you can go, well, actually.
Exactly. See,
Yeah.
she's arming us. She's arming us for being able to fight our corner and educate people out there.
Mhm.
Which is awesome. Because sometimes I just get so angry, I go, and I lose the words.
Yeah. Do you ever get sometimes about that when you're trying to explain, you know, about it to people, and because they do have this unrealistic, like, bias as to what vaping actually is,
Yeah.
you know, you're just beating your head off a brick wall. There really is no fix for stupid, and you get to a point where you can't speak anymore because you're just so flabbergasted at the level of stupidity that's sitting right in front of you, and you know, you just think, just, I'll tell you what, you know, I've got very few brain cells as it is, and you've just killed the rest of them with your utter bollock stupidity, so just go away, just, you know.
Yeah, I showed them a photo of my graduation, and I'm like, scientist,
Yeah.
listen.
The only way that we're ever going to beat that attitude is by education and educating people, you know.
There's just some people you can't educate, though, and you really can't. Please forgive me for using this term. If I offend anybody, I apologise, but you cannot educate a retard. You can't. It's just the same way as you can't. Just the same way as you can't polish a turd.
Exactly. You can't educate somebody who doesn't want to listen.
Exactly.
But I think, you know, we all have to try.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with trying. I mean, I'm the world's worst. I get really impatient, and I get to the point with people where I'm just like, oh my God, you know. But you've got to try and educate them, because for every one anti-vapor that we turn, we're winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Proud boyfriend here. You are hereby named Dr. Lady Empire BSc Honours.
So, going back to that pleb that I dealt with in that the gamer stream that night, that he was saying, you know, about vaping actually causing physical burns. It causes a build-up of scar tissue. It burns you that much.
Mm-hmm.
According to him, it was his friend that told him this, and his friend has been a GP for 40 years.
Yeah.
And I'm going, funny that, because my friend is also a GP who also happens to be my GP, and it was my GP that got me vaping.
Yeah.
It's the same as any new thing, isn't it? I mean, it's a Marmite subject. It's a very divided.
And also according to this particular person, because my GP is based in the UK, that means he's uneducated, so he's technically not a doctor, because the only medical qualifications that are worth the paper they're printed on are American ones.
Right. Okay.
Apparently British doctors don't exist because they're not qualified. You see, that's the level of stupid that I was trying to argue with that night.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Sometimes it's just better to be like,
yep.
That's just fucking inbreeding right there.
Yep, that's the level of stupid that I was having to deal with that night, and then to have, I was getting a lot of personal insults slung at me, and I sat there, I took it on the chin, so my part in shot was just, I just sit back and enjoy my glorious clouds of strawberry custard all the while laughing at your uneducated self. Good night.
I laugh at it, right, because every time we talk about this, I just remember Gary telling me the story. I told you this when we were down, and he was in city centre of Glasgow one day vaping. Gary, correct me if I'm wrong with this, right? But he was standing. They were watching some buskers or something, or was it? Do you know what it was? It was when the Victoria's was burning down, when the nightclubs was burning down. He was standing outside, so there was a fire and there was a smell of all this. And this guy next to him turned around and went, "That's fucking stinks," because he was vaping some sort of fruity thing. And Gary turned around and he looked him up and down and went, "At least I don't smell of pish." And I was, oh my God, that's so epic. That's just so Gary, so Glasgow. Do you know what I mean? What do you answer to that? I mean, oh, I'm really sorry. I smell like I've, urinated all over myself. What the fuck? Oh, absolutely fucking epic.
Yeah, exactly true, Blue. You can't argue with stupid, which is why I didn't argue with them. I did take homage at the personal insults. There was really no need for it, but you know.
And he was fucking stinking of it too, says Gary.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I've had some of the most interesting conversations about like the health and side effects of vaping and stuff with taxi drivers.
Yeah. See, because they all know smoking in the cabs and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my best mates is a taxi driver, runs his own taxi firm, and he got hauled in by the DVLA a couple of days ago because he was seen sitting in his cab, even though he was off duty, because he was in his cab vaping. He actually got hauled in by the DVLA and has been issued with a £250 fine.
Hey, Scuba.
For vaping, really?
Yep, for vaping in his cab, because the cab is technically a workplace, and because these arseholes out there still assume that vaping and smoking are exactly the fucking same, because you're not allowed to smoke in the workplace anymore. A taxi is classed as a workplace, so you're not allowed to smoke in it, which means you're not allowed to vape in it.
But we're going back.
So Rodney got hit with a £250 fine.
There's no law.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is no law, and I told Rodney that I found the website to give him all the information as to what his rights are as far as vaping in the taxi are concerned. I found it on my phone, sent him the link for it. I says, don't pay that fine. And he says, I haven't paid it yet. It was only issued a couple of days ago. I says, well, don't pay it. I says, take that website, that fine and that link, take that to your solicitor. I says, get your solicitor on the case and argue that. Because apparently he has got 60 days to pay the fine. If he doesn't pay the £250 within 60 days, he's going to end up getting 6 points on his license, which will in turn mean he will have to surrender his PSV license, which means that shuts his business down.
Fuck that.
No.
So I've told him to fight it.
Yeah.
Because he was not smoking. And according to this fella at the DVLA, yes, he was. That just because the cigarette was electronic doesn't make it any less of a cigarette.
Pasty, I had some twat telling me I could get popcorn along. I asked where he got the information. He said the Sun. I just said, well, it must be true then. I know, right? But see, this is the beauty of these studies, and you know what Em's educating us with here. It gives us the answers. It gives us the fight and the knowledge behind us to be able to go and fight these things. I mean, I smoke. God forgive me. I vape where I want, when I want. I don't walk about blowing big clouds. Do you know what I mean? How many times did I lift my vape up in the restaurant last week and just have a vape?
I know, yeah.
I do it. Do you know what I mean? I don't blow big fucking clouds and all the rest of it, but I do it. And I do that because I want people to come and approach me. I want people to come so that I can educate them, so that we can change attitudes towards it.
I try and change a lot of the bad perceptions.
Yeah, as long as I'm not sitting there blowing clouds and big puffs into other people's faces, or they're sitting eating their dinner and they get a waft of vape right across them. I mean, I don't do that, but you have to encourage people to debate and to. I'm just a fucking troublemaker. Let's be honest. I just like to fucking stir up shit.
I was tempted to cover the whole popcorn and wet lung thing, but I did that on the video with Chris, so I was like, I'm not sure if people want to hear that again, but.
You did. It might be worth us actually, you know, like these studies that you're talking about and things. We'll put a thing on the bitches group page, for it, you know, and we'll make a document or something so that people can access these to use them if they need them.
Yeah, Chris, exactly. That was the point I made to Rodney, because Rodney wasn't too sure. But I had said to him, yeah, I get it, because the ban on smoking in, you know, in cars, especially cars that you're carrying kids in, that came in over here a couple of years ago. But the smoking in taxis came in a long time before that, because your taxi is classed as a workplace. You're not allowed to smoke in a taxi. So you can, I can understand why Rodney was a bit confused. But as far as vaping, I have never heard anywhere that you're not allowed to vape in a car with or without kids in it, and I've certainly not heard of anywhere that says you're not allowed to vape in a taxi.
Yeah.
So I have, you know, any information that I was able to find on it, I've sent to Rodney and told him to, you know, make copies of it, take screenshots and whatnot, and you know, get them to a solicitor as soon as possible.
Yeah. I mean, Jules is saying she was vaping and blowing it down her top or down her leg, wasn't she? Evie and I were trying to teach her how to stealth vape, but she didn't quite get the stealth thing. So she just kept disappearing between her legs under the table, and everybody was kept looking at her.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I mean, it's fine. We got there in the end, but see, there's a difference between law and policy and procedure. The very, very different things, and people, you know, take policy and procedure as law and as a given. Not everybody's willing to argue that or to fight it.
Yeah, I've noticed on a lot of buses recently, you know, it says obviously no smoking, but now it says no smoking or vaping.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, fair enough, you're telling me not to, but at least you've made the distinction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, a lot of places.
Smoke machines at concerts, it's exactly the same thing. Are they going to stop that?
Yeah, they're going to have to, because if they won't allow you to vape, they're going to have to stop using fog machines at concerts and nightclubs. Because if you're not allowed to smoke within the confines of a concert or a nightclub, and they tell you you're not allowed to use an e-cigarette, well then, you know, why should you have to stand there and breathe in the fumes from a fog machine?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, the funniest one for me was when we went to Expo, and Noel and Vic and I were wandering in. It wasn't me there, it was me before. And we're wandering in, and there's big signs on the outside of the Expo, no vaping. You're actually in the building, but you're not allowed to vape until you cross a bit of red carpet.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, aye, right. So I'm standing having a wee vape in the lobby, as you do, because I thought...
That's right, when we were stood queued up waiting to get our press passes.
Expo, people have paid a fortune for their tickets to come to an acceptable place where it is to vape. But you've got to wait until your foot goes from a tiled floor to a fucking carpeted floor. Get yourself to fuck.
Mm-hmm. I'm
sorry, no. Nobody fucking said anything to me. I must have had scary resting bitch face on. Nobody said anything to me.
No. There was one of the security said something to me, because as we were, it was one of the nights whenever we were leaving to head back to Kelvin's, and as we were getting to that point where I was about to walk out through the door, it was like, yeah, I've got a walk ahead of me, so I'll take a last puff before I come out. Took a last puff, switched the mod off, stuck it into my pocket, and because I was still exhaling some of the vapour as I stepped out, security guard bounced on me straight away. You're not allowed to vape out here. And I went, I'm not vaping, mate. He says, oh, you are. I went, where's my mod then? I did that. I says, where's my mod? I said, I'm not vaping, mate. He said, well, don't be fucking letting me catch you vape. Aye, whatever, fuck off. Cheeky bastard, like, there's always one job's worth. Yeah.
See, they don't come and say anything to me. Probably because I've got Zan standing behind me most of the time. But no, see, I think that, you know, when people approach you like that, the best way to win any sort of argument is to just stay very calm and educate them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's because they up the ventilation in the hall and not in the corridors. And I can understand that, but if they are going to host a vaping expo, I mean, you're talking about, what, 20 feet from the front door to the bit where you're allowed to vape.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just that small part of where the glass auditorium entrance.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to vape there, but 20 feet further in, where you're literally at that bit on a bit of carpet, you can vape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not even in the halls, is it?
It's
like
not even in
where everyone queues. But everyone vapes in the queue anyway.
Exactly. So, I mean...
I think that's why they moved the queue from just outside the hall door. They had a section separated off inside. Yeah. That's why they moved the queuing system to in there, because remember they used the wee room out where the cloakroom was. They used the wee room next door to the cloakroom for everybody to go and pick up their tickets.
Yeah.
Well, and then they moved that to actually inside the halls after that.
So they did. But I would be happy to debate it with them. Absolutely delighted to debate it with them if they want to discuss it with me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not upsetting anybody that's there. Everybody that's there is a vapor. I'm not blowing clouds in their face. I'm not going and standing where the security guards or any of the employees are working and blowing it right in their face. So, yeah. So that's been a really quick show tonight, my girls. Has anybody got any questions in chat that you would like to ask Em on what we've discussed tonight? Ask the expert.
Where did my VC just go? My VC disappeared.
Right, close it down, bro. Are you back, Em?
Yeah. It just, for some reason, as soon as you put up the photo, my VC just went, woo.
I know that was a unicorn pussy.
Yeah, it's true, actually. I've heard about that.
Unicorn pussy?
On the setup for Expo, you're not allowed to vape in the hall.
You're not allowed to vape in the hall. For breakdown.
Yeah.
What's a breaker?
I'm hungry too. Cheesy chips and nuts.
Got to be nuggets. Did you see KFC were doing Valentine bouquets made out of nuggets? I saw it last night and I was like, Em would love that.
Oh, I would. I would. Have you seen that birthday cake just made out of chicken nuggets? It's like 3 tiers of nuggets. Yeah. It's what dreams are made of.
I did that for my dad. My dad's 70th. His favourite is Millionaire Shortcake. So instead of making him a birthday cake, I made him 70 pieces of caramel shortcake. Just made them into a mountain.
Oh, I'm trying to find a photo. My mum made me, like, I'm not a massive fan of chocolate, but I don't know what inspired her to make it, but she made me one of those chocoholic cakes, and she, like, smashed the side of a chocolate cake and then just built it with, like, chocolate fingers, tons of buttons, mini shortbread, mini rolls, just tons of chocolate. It was, like, insane. I don't know where it is. I don't know if I've still got a photo of it. I must do somewhere.
Have you tried this? This is one that... Toffee whole nut.
Oh, yeah. Whole nut's one of my faves.
Really good.
No, that's toffee whole nut.
It's toffee.
Oh, no, I know, yeah, but like whole nut itself is one of my faves, but the toffee one.
I've not tried it. You need to try this one. It's really good.
I have tried it. It's nice, but I'm still just a fan of just whole nut.
Suzanne loves fruit and nut. That's his dairy milk fruit and nut.
Chris loves fruit and nut.
I just don't love any chocolate. I'm happy running. That's it.
Galaxy salted caramel for the win.
Would
There
that
you go.
possibly be
That's the one.
my other son gave me that earlier?
Gimme.
Our children wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find this cake. It's got to be somewhere.
Yeah, I love salted caramel.
Yep.
So guys, thank you very much for joining us. Absolutely epic. I hope you all enjoyed that wee educating sciencey bit that Em did. I thought you were awesome, darling. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Oh,
here it is. I found it just before we go. I found it.
Oh wow.
Oh god, it looks awesome, but I feel sick looking at it.
It was so sickly.
Yeah, that's a diabetic. That's a diabetic episode right there.
Oh,
It was good
chocolate
though.
covered marzipan, Gary. Now you're
Whoa.
Oh, I hate marzipan.
Oh, same.
chocolate covered marzipan with an
No.
amaretto. You can't beat it.
No, don't like marzipan.
Yes, Chris.
So thank you very much for joining us, guys. We shall give our goodbyes. Em, do you want to go first, my darling?
Sure. Thank you for putting up with the science segment. Hopefully it wasn't too heavy for you all. But thank you for joining us on this. Actually, it's been quite a nice weather Friday. So it's slightly warmer Friday. Thanks to everyone that subscribed, everyone in chat. You're all awesome. And we shall see you next week.
Bunny, go for it.
Yep. As Em said, thank you very much everybody for tuning in. It's been absolutely amazing as usual. Sainty and TC, thank you very much for the bits. Very much appreciated. We did gain a couple of new followers and subscribers earlier, so yeah, thank you very much for that. We did gain a troll. Troll was promptly told to fuck off, which was epic. Yay! Yeah, you guys in chat were the reason. You're the reason why we're here every week. We wouldn't be here without you, and it was very, very much appreciated, all the support you've given us. Ems, your sciencey bit was fucking amazing. Epic. Definitely be doing that one again. Gail, always a pleasure. And Darren, for tormenting us as ever. Thank you. Kind of, maybe. I don't know.
Unicorn pussy and everything.
Yeah.
Right, go on.
Anyway, we're fucking off out of here. See you next week.
Okay. Excuse me. Thanks, guys, for joining us. As always, as the girl said, your support and you coming in and joining us every week is just epic, and we look forward to it, and we love doing this show with you every week. To everybody that sent bits and subscribed and followed, thank you so much. We shall work on the lab coat for them and get that sorted. So thank you. Yes. What do we have on the menu for next week? We decide. It's a quiz.
Yes, we're having a quiz
next week. So,
also, just before we check out, for anybody in here that hasn't followed already, why the hell not? Get on it, get following. That way, you will get notifications anytime we go live.
Yes.
Also, our fabulous sponsor, Mr. Chris Empire himself.
Yes.
We have a discount code, so if any of you guys need any nice shiny new vape gear, if you need any liquids or whatever, hop onto Empire's website, and don't forget, use your discount code, okay, which is BOE10. You get 10% off. Yes. So you're not only supporting us, you're supporting Chris as well. It's very much appreciated. So yes, get on it, people.
And ignore Chris's shameless plug there.
Yeah. Join me live later. Will do. Zan, I think, is going live as well. So no doubt they'll be apexing or some sort of thing.
That's a thing.
No, they're not apexing.
Is Zan live right now? Because we could
say,
I'm sure we could maybe have a raid and throw a lot of viewers over to him.
No, he's offline at the moment.
Ah, damn it. Nobody on yet.
I'm on Chris's PC, so he's not live.
Yeah, they'll be on Twitch later if you're interested in the gaming. If you're looking for more vaping content or vaping shows, I do know that Salford Vapor's back doing his show around midnight.
Yeah, Salford and Demo usually go live about 11.
I think it's midnight they're going, that I saw today, and then from 1 AM it will be Scuba's Hangout.
Yeah, Scuba, Aries, and
Speed.
Yeah, Speed Triple. Yeah.
So if you're looking for things, are you going to be up? Then yep, Scuba's on at 1 AM. I shall be there because I'm there every week. I love Scuba's show.
Everyone's live.
I know. Scuba makes me laugh every week. So
Scuba show's great.
Oh, Steve Dave's gone live.
Yes. Yep. Steve Dave live. So guys, stay in chat. We're going to set up a raid. It'll automatically take you to Steve Dave's channel, so jump across and show Steve Dave some support as well and give him
It'd be appreciated.
Yeah, so he will love it.
We love you all lots. We look forward to seeing you all next week. Stay safe. Have a good week. And remember, buy lots of nice shinies so you get things to tell us and show us next week.
Keep her cloudy, folks. Keep her cloudy.
Okay, bye guys. Love you lots.
See you later.
Bye.
I'm about to eat lots of chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm going to go eat all this chocolate.
Cindy says, tell him he's a villain when you get on Steve's channel.
Don't forget, follow us on Twitter.
Hush, love.